Welcome to Nature Tech Family series on the secret language of animals. In this series, we will be discussing how different species in nature communicate, because once we understand this interspecies secret language, we will be able to know what the animals have been saying to each other, and very often about us humans. With this understanding, we can know what's happening around us, we can avoid dangers in the wild, and even move undetected through the forest. Throughout this series, we will be featuring different animals and explaining their individual ways of communicating with the rest of their neighbors. Intrigued? Then let's get started. When we watch animals in the wild, one of the common behaviors we noticed is how often they stop and listen. But what are they listening for? Perhaps for a twig to snap or a rustling of leaves, meaning some possible danger or food is nearby. We've also learned that they're listening to all their neighbors that share a highly developed interspecies language, like the birds that are singing in the background as this deer listens. Let's start to unravel this mysterious language with the first species, the American robin. The reason we chose to start with the language of the American robin is because it is so widespread. However, the techniques we use to decipher the robin's language can be used all across the earth for many other species, especially other types of birds. The first thing we want to discuss with the American robin is the difference between its song and alarm. In this video, we can hear the robin's easily recognizable song of cherry-o, cherry-o, cherry. When a robin sings its song, not only is it proclaiming its territory, but it also lets all those around it know that it doesn't see any threats in the area. For instance, when I'm walking through the forest and I hear a robin or any other ground-feeding bird singing their song, I know they definitely have not just seen a house cat, a bobcat, a fox, or a hawk, or any other threat. Because if they did, they would switch their song to an alarm. For example, in this next footage, Calvin and I were able to tell that some wolves were nearby, because a few robins that were feeding in the open began alarming at the wolves as they traveled through and made them feel threatened by getting too close too quickly. Listen closely for the robin's alarm of toot, 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 toot.
He's coming this way. Right above the sign.
As you can hear, a bird's alarm sounds very different from their song. An alarm is usually quick, monotone, and repetitive. And you can be certain, many animals know the difference as well. We as humans can listen for these alarms and know that there's something going on. I know Calvin and I were not the only ones who heard that robin alarm. Any fox, elk, deer, as well as many other types of mammals and birds would have known from that alarm that some type of threat was nearby. During the wolf video, you may have noticed that many other birds continued to sing their song while the robins were alarming. The birds that continued singing were simply far enough away to not feel threatened by the wolves traveling through. And that is how we are able to pinpoint where the perceived threat is and where it is not. Because if the threat was close enough to the birds that were singing, they would have quickly changed from their species song to an alarm, just like the robins did. We hope you enjoyed this first episode of The Secret Language of Animals, and please, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to keep informed when any new videos come out. And as always, remember to get up, get out, and go have an adventure.